Stop worrying about the destination, right? Stop worrying about, you know, the goal that you want to achieve. It's okay to achieve goals, but you got to remember to prioritize the process, prioritize the systems that you're building, right? Enjoy the process, right? Enjoy the failures, enjoy, the setbacks. You know what I mean? Make sure that your happiness isn't revolved around your goal, right? There's a lot of people, my age that are so trapped in this hustle culture to the point where they believe that they're not going to be happy unless they're 30 years old with a Lambo, right? Or unless they have this house or this car or whatever, right? Your happiness shouldn't revolve around a goal, right? It's okay to want to achieve something, but at the same time, be happy about the progress, enjoy the progress, right? Not the progress, but enjoy the process as well, right? Enjoy the systems that you're building. For example, if you're on a basketball team and you want to, get a ring, you want to get a chip, right? You have to worry about the systems. You have to worry about the practices, the small habits, what I'm saying, that create the result that you want, right? If you want to achieve something in your life, be happy about the process and also worry about the small little habits in your day. So many people want to achieve something so big, but they don't want to organize their bed when they get up in the morning. You know what I'm saying? Just little habits like that can really, set you forward, bro. Right? Worry about the little systems that you create. Right? If you want to be a businessman, if you want to be an entrepreneur, let's say you have an online store and you want to reach, I don't know, $100,000, you have to make sure that your store is worth $100,000. And in order to make sure of that, you have to build systems. You have to work on your store day by day, little by little. You know what I'm saying? Edit what things that are important within your store rather than worrying about, the money coming in, worrying about the goal that you want to achieve. Just worry about the little things in life, right? Be grateful for it all too, right? It's okay to want something, but you gotta be grateful, right? Be grateful for the fact that you are living. Be grateful for the fact that, you're here today and you're listening to this video and you're alive. You know what I'm saying? Be grateful for the fact that you're able to go outside, right? And you're able to do so many things within your life, right? A lot of us don't, you know, appreciate the free will that God has given us, right? The fact that I'm able to go outside and record a YouTube video, you know what I'm saying? Just little things like that. The fact that I'm able to eat, the fact that I'm able to sleep, you know, the fact that I'm able to see trees around me and just take in the nature that God created, right? Stop being trapped in the hustle culture, right? Because you can die tomorrow, bro, right? There's no guarantee that you can be alive tomorrow, right? So stop being so trapped in the hustle culture, right? Especially when it comes to the gym as well, right? There's a lot of people that are worried about their body, that are obsessed over their body, putting their bodies over God, right? If I don't eat this certain amount of calories, then I'm not doing good. If I don't bench this weight, then I'm not doing good. If I don't squat this amount of weight, then I'm not doing good. You know what I'm saying? Just little things like that, bro. Enjoy the fact that you're willing to get up and change yourself. Enjoy the fact that you're willing to start. That's the most important thing. A lot of people procrastinate, right? They say that they want to achieve something, right? They get up one morning and they just don't take the steps. They don't take the action, right? There's a lot of people out here that talk about their goals, that talk about, they want to achieve this and that, but they don't do anything to achieve it. You don't want to be that type of person that says they're going to do something and not do it. You don't want to be that type of person that says that they're going to be an entrepreneur, right? Or they're going to be successful, but they're not taking the necessary steps in order to achieve that, right? If you want to achieve something, not only work for it, but make sure that you have God in the center of it, right? Every night I make sure that I pray to God and that I make sure that, I'll put him in the center of my online business, right? Because I don't want to start something and not put God over, right? Because that's not fulfilling, his purpose for me. right? Make sure that you have God in the center of your life, because if you don't have God in the center of your life, bro, you're not going to be connected with the Creator, right? You're not going to be connected with the spiritual world. The spiritual world is very real, bro, right? It's very real. Whether you believe it or not, it doesn't matter, right? It's going to come to a point in time in your life when you're going to realize that the spiritual world is real, right? And the spiritual world is not a game to be played with, bro, right? So if you want to achieve something in your life, make sure that you're connected with God. Make sure that you're connected with the Creator. You know what I'm saying? Ask Him questions. Ask Him, if you should be doing this or if you should be doing that, right? Make sure you ask Him questions, bro, right? Because He will communicate with you one way or another, whether it's, through people, whether it's through your thoughts, whether it's through a little whisper. You know what I'm saying? God communicates with people in different ways, right? But people don't really realize that. You know what I'm saying? They're so focused on just getting the answer rather than just having faith, right? And this is what I mean by the little steps. People are so focused on the results, but not the habits to get the results, right? If you want God to communicate with you, what are the steps that you're taking, right? What are you doing in your life to make sure that you are a humble servant to God, right? That's the most important thing, because if you're not a humble servant for God, right, then there's a less of a chance that He's going to communicate with you. If you're not connected with God, if you're not honoring God in your life, then there's less of a chance that you're going to hear His word, right? The more focused you are on your body, the more focused you are on results, instant gratification, right? It's going to be harder for you to actually get those results, right? And when you do get those results, it's not going to be satisfying, right? Because it's constantly on your mind. And then when you achieve it, it's like, what's the next step now, right? I put this in the center of my life, and now that I have it, it's like, what do I do with it? That's why it's very important, bro, that whatever goal that you achieve, you make sure there's other goals as well, right? But don't put that goal over God, right? Don't put anything of this world over God, right? Don't put, your laptop, your phone, your body, the money, because all of that, you're going to lose that one day. It's not going to matter one day, right? We're all going to perish one day, right? Death is a certainty for everybody on this earth, right? But if you put Jesus Christ in your life, if you put God in your life, heaven is certainty as well, right? It's certain for you to make it to heaven if you're putting Jesus Christ in your life over anything that you have in your life. Because you understand that everything of this world is temporary, right? And that when you pass away, the life that you have after you pass is more important, right? The same way that you honor your fathers and your mothers is the same way that you should honor your Father in heaven, right? The same way that you respect your mothers and your fathers is the same way that you should respect God, right? The same way that you're obedient to your parents, that the minute that they say something, you listen to it. It's the same way that you should listen to God when He tells you to do something. Just the little habits, bro, right? If you become obedient to your parents, you become obedient to God. You know what I'm saying? If you're humble towards your parents, if you're humble towards your friends, if you're humble towards anybody that comes in your life, you're going to be humble to God, right? It's all about your identity, who you are as a person, right? If you claim to be the sole entrepreneur, if you claim to be the sole businessman, you have to make that as your identity, regardless of your results, regardless of the money that you're making, right? Because let's say if you start an online business, right, and you don't classify yourself as an entrepreneur, if you don't classify yourself as a businessman, it's going to be harder for you to get the results. It's going to be harder for you to get that money, right? Because your identity is not there. So if you're communicating with God, right, but you don't classify yourself as a man of God or a woman of God, it's going to be harder for you to hear God's voice, because your identity is not a man of God. Your identity is not a woman of God, right? If you want to achieve something, change your identity. You know what I'm saying? Worry about the little small habits. Worry about the little things, bro. With that being said, I'm gone. Peace.